great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of need. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. I'm Jim Hacking. This is episode number 560 of the Immigration Answer Show. I will be here for the next hour trying to answer as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. How is everybody doing? What's going on? How has your week been? My good friend Hoolie's in the waiting room keeping track of who wants to come in, who wants to chat with me. This is your chance to ask me any question that you want. Donna's giving me the bless up, so I know I'm good. So is Michael. How's everybody doing? How was your week? That was fun watching Old Shabazz yesterday, wasn't it? That made me laugh. I've been laughing about that sort of all day. Big up from Rich. Rich is from Jamaica, but down in Florida at the moment. What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? I've been thinking about the election, and I think Donald Trump's going to win. I don't know for sure. I don't think any of the criminal cases are going to go to trial. It seems like there are roadblocks in each and every one of them. The two important ones to me are the ones in Florida and in DC. The ones about the Mar-a-Lago documents, and then of course with the January 6th uprising. I think that the Supreme Court's going to slow down Jack Smith. And I think that judge in Florida has has nothing but loyalty to Donald Trump, and she'll do basically whatever his lawyers want. The one thing that I did see that gave me some little bit of hope is that Biden has a ton more money than Trump. Trump is basically funneling all money from the RNC and all money from his campaigns into paying his lawyers for all of his criminal charges. I guess the theory is that if he gets indicted or goes to jail, that he can't be their nominee. So there you go. We'll see what happens, I guess. It's going to be an interesting thing. I think that they definitely want to shut down legal immigration. We are looking over the Project 2025 that they've outlined of all the ways they want to attack immigrants and immigration. You know, their goal, they always use illegal immigration as the hook, but what they really want to do is stop immigration altogether. So they're going to shut down student visas. They're going to shut down anyone coming to the United States from China and Iran. This is sort of their big plan is. But there are a lot of people supporting old Donald Trump, and we'll just have to see what happens. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Erie's here. Hello, Erie. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. I think it might be the headset. We'll come back, Erie. We'll come back. All right, let's talk to Junu. Hi, Junu.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So I got a quick question. So, giving my background, I'm a permanent resident, and my brother is a U.S. citizen who applied for my parents, and they came to the U.S. As a permanent resident in July of last year.
Okay.
So they have been staying with both of us, with me most of the time. So the tax season is over here. So we are planning to apply as a dependent for my parents for in my tax return. So I was wondering if it impacts our immigration status, mine as well as my parents, if we try to naturalize.
So everybody has green cards?
Yes.
No, once you get your green card, you're sort of past worrying about all that stuff. So no, it'll be okay.
Okay, so I can file my parents as a dependent then in my tax return.
I mean, that's a whole question for your accountant. I don't know
Oh,
about that.
okay. So I was just wondering, like, does it impact in immigration point of view?
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Junu. See ya. All right, let's go to Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Sarah, are you there? Hello, Sarah. All right, Sarah must be Sarah. Hear me? Sarah, can you hear me? Huh. We can see Sarah's little friend, but we can't hear Sarah. All right. Let's go to Rislane. Hello, Rislane.
Oh, hi, Jim. You hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
Good. Thanks to God, alhamdulillah. Um, we've talked a few weeks before. I remember I was the one struggling getting my police clear certificate from Egypt.
Okay.
So finally, I managed to prepare it at the embassy. I send it to Egypt to be certified, and I get it back in almost 3 weeks. Um, our immigration visa case was documentary qualified, and I'm just trying to prepare myself for the interview date that was not fixed yet. But it's Ramadan; we're not free to do things, so. Just preparing myself in advance. Remember my case? I was the one who had already 3 previous marriages, and this is the fourth one.
I don't remember that, but I believe you. So this is your fourth marriage?
Yeah, I divorced the first husband. The second died, and I divorced the third. So this is the fourth marriage, and I've already explained that. You explained to me that as long as it was not 10 days marriages, so this is
And did any of those marriages involve anybody getting a U.S. immigration benefit?
no, not at all. Not
So
at
this, and is there a big age gap between you and your spouse?
all. My actual spouse now?
Yeah.
Well, he was my teacher. We have 14 years difference.
And you're talking about Cairo will be the embassy?
Sorry?
Which embassy will be handling your interview?
I'm calling you from Morocco. I'm Moroccan. So, as I lived in Egypt for a moment, so I had to had this police clearance certificate from Egypt.
How did you meet this fellow that you're married to?
As I just said, he was my teacher. We kept in touch for almost 34 years, and now that by the time he was single and I'm single, so we decided to get engaged.
So he was your teacher 35 years ago?
Yep.
Okay, so that would have been like the late 80s?
90, exactly.
Okay. And okay. So how do you like reconnected on social media and then you started dating or something or like that?
We've been together in a second time in 2017. But at that moment, I was single, but he was still married, so it did not work.
Okay.
So,
and did he? So you are Moroccan?
yeah, and he's Moroccan too. But he went to US due to American lottery, and he got his citizenship a long time ago. So there's no problem. So our I-130 was confirmed, and now the embassy confirmed our immigration visa case. And as I said, we are just waiting for the embassy to fix an interview date.
All right. So I don't know how long you've been watching my show, Rislane, but man, in the old days, almost all I talked about was how terrible the embassy in Morocco was.
I was going to ask you because I've seen one of your TikTok videos when you were complaining about Casablanca embassy.
Yeah.
So is that still the case?
No, it's not. I don't sue them
Okay.
nearly as much as I used to, but
Alhamdulillah, thanks to God.
I think they're going to be all over your case. I think they're going to give you a
But
really
this is the point of of being here today. I was
I think they're going to give you a really hard time.
yeah. Yeah. Do you have any advice? So the first marriage lasted 13 years, and I had my kid in that marriage. I divorced 13 years. My first marriage lasted 13 years. Uh, as I said, I didn't got married on the spot. I've waited a long time before getting married the second time. It lasted 3 years, but he died.
Right.
As at that moment, I was living in Egypt, so I got engaged for a third time, but it did not work because he was younger than me and wanted to have kids. But I'm telling you about my personal life. I'm sorry, but
No, I
if
appreciate that. No, that's all
but
important.
if it may help, um,
What
I'm I'm
years?
50. I'm 52 years old now, so I couldn't have kids. So this is not yeah. I mean, the kind of relation where I was just pretending to be a wife. I was serious and sincere, but things did not work. But during all the years, the right one was the last one because he was my first love.
So, did you and he have some kind of relationship when you were 17, or just teacher student?
No, no. Um, we started liking each other when he was my teacher, but when I changed changed the high school, we started seeing each other just after I graduated.
Okay.
I was still young, but mm, no, he was older than me, married, having kids. So I realized that it could not work. But
Right.
but there was something.
It sounds like a movie.
I am planning to write a book
Yeah.
telling about my life.
Yeah. So here's a question that I think you might get. What do your kids say about all this?
My husband visited us this December. My kid was here. By the way, he was my son's teacher too. He was my brother's teacher, my sister's teacher. So he knows the family, and the family knows him.
Okay. And everybody's cool with it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna have a tough interview. I don't know that they're gonna want to give you the visa. I mean, how many times uh, did you and he, not when you were younger, but in this current time that we're in, how many times did you visit each other before you got married?
We didn't know. We've been together. We are in Morocco, so we are a Muslim. We are a Muslim country with some cultures. We've been together for almost 1 year and a half.
So he's in Morocco.
No, now he's in America.
Okay, so that's what I mean. How many times did he come visit Morocco before you got married?
None, because we originally knew each other, so we keep talking just by phone, and he decided to come to Morocco, and I quit my job in Egypt and left everything there, and I came back to Morocco, and we met on December 2022, where we got married on the 1st December 22. And he visited this year, means he came a second time after we get married to Morocco for a visit, and this is where he met my son.
So you got married in Morocco?
Yeah.
On the first trip after you reconnected?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to like that either. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I think I think that this might be one that they just sit on and they maybe they'll give you the visa. I don't know. I mean, interestingly, the old story from when you were a student is sort of the hook. I mean, those people in the past in Morocco, the people that work at the embassy, they've been really, really mean to people,
Hmm.
right? So I think they might give you a hard time.
Do we have to give them any other proofs, any other documents that we are sincere? I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know.
pictures,
I think,
messages.
I think you just got to play it straight and see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about a 14-year age gap. You're talking about a marriage on the first visit. You're talking about marriage number 4. Those are all, and you're talking about Morocco. Now, the one thing I'll say about Morocco is the ones where they always gave us trouble were for the 20-year-old Moroccan man marrying the 40-year-old American woman. So this isn't that, right? You're obviously very much an adult. You have adult children, so maybe they'll give you a little bit of a break because they figure you're going into this with
yeah,
your eyes wide open. You know.
yeah.
Well, good luck.
Other
Let us know how it
thank
goes.
you.
And the other thing that we have to think about is Morocco has been known to call the U.S. citizen from the embassy while you're there. So I would have your spouse ready to be able to talk about all this stuff.
Okay.
All right.
So, do you mean they will call him while I'm at the embassy for the interview?
They've done it before.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rosaline. Good luck. Let us know.
Oh, you will come. I will let you know if you have
Okay.
if I have
Okay. I hope
any
it
of
all
those.
works out. Okay.
Happy
See ya.
Ramadan. Bye bye. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye. Yeah, for sure. Somebody was asking me about in the comments about the most number of marriages we've had, and the case got approved. We had a brother. We got his wife and her daughter to the United States. It was his 6th marriage. His 6th marriage. Um, that's a great case. Adela did a great job. That was all Adela. Adela got that mom and her daughter here to the United States. And it was a really interesting story because I think he was from somewhere in West Africa, or maybe East Africa, West Africa. And he had diabetes and he was walking down the street and he had some kind of diabetic seizure in the street. And this woman and her daughter nursed him back to health. Well, then he fell in love with this lady and married her. And then they just became citizens about 4 years ago. So we got them here on the immigrant visas, and that all worked out. So that was marriage number 6. I told Adela I didn't think it was going to work, but she did it. So what are you going to say? How about that? All right, Sarah's back. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, thank you so much. I want to ask a question. So my mom, she's a US citizen. I am here on the States on an F1 visa. My mom filed a petition for me back in 2017. Then she got divorced, but she never changed her address because she was still getting the mail at her ex-husband's house. And actually, a few months ago, my brother got his passport there, and he like, oh, they have a good relationship, so he always gives us the mail. So USCIS sent a request for evidence, and we never got it there or nowhere, and so they denied the case. So when we found out about that was at 2021, so we filed again. But so I have to wait because obviously I'm over 21. And I'm wondering because for the 2017 it's almost current if there's anything that we can do to open that case again.
Not now. Not now. Maybe when you found out about the denial. When did you find out about the denial? In 2021?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going to say you waited too long to try to do anything. So I don't think so.
there's absolutely nothing we can do but wait for the new petition.
Yep.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
So your mom is a U.S. citizen,
Yeah,
and are you married or unmarried?
unmarried,
Unmarried?
unmarried, single. Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. It's gonna take a long time.
So I have to maintain the F1 status all that time.
You have to, if you want to adjust status, you have to maintain your status all the way throughout.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. All right. Martin wants to know, what's the U.S. Embassy in Manila known for when it comes to your clients during consular process? I'll let the people in the comments say, but generally, Martin, it's a very, very slow embassy, very suspicious of things that aren't straightforward, all over divorces. Cases from the Philippines are really hard, especially if you're talking about like the gringo from America going over and marrying somebody from the Philippines. Those cases take forever. Sahil is here. Hello, Sahil.
Hey Jim, hi. Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
Last time we talked, it was more about my wife's parents not knowing about our marriage and stuff about that.
Okay.
This was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm just calling. I'm just here just to know what should I do. So my I-130 has been pending for 282 days as of now. 485 is 131, 133 days. 131 is same 133 days, and my 765 EAD has been pending since 113 days, and I've not received any update other than a RFE that I submitted on March 1st.
So Sahil, I'm fasting, so I can't. All those dates sort of threw me for a loop. When
I'm
did you?
sorry.
It's okay. When did you file the 485?
485 was filed on November 10th, 2023.
And that's for everything, the work
Uh,
card, the travel card, all that stuff.
yes, the 130 was filed on June 14th. So 130 was filed like June 14th, 2023. So it was like filed way earlier than 145.
Yeah. So, I mean, most green card cases take a year and most work cards take 6 months. So I think you're fine. I don't think you need to be worried about anything.
Okay. And the other thing, I was on F1 OPT visa EAD. I had a F1 OPT EAD when I filed for my 765. And that expired last year in November only. And I'm not sure how will I be able to will I be eligible to work on that same OPT, or do I have to wait for a new OPT to come, my new AD card to come in?
Well, it's expired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, you're supposed to wait until you get your new work card.
I was reading about something automatic EAD extension, so I don't know. I
That
was
doesn't
not able
apply.
to.
That
It
doesn't.
does
If
not.
you just had 1 year of OPT, not a STEM extension, there's no automatic extension for OPT. It's just
My course was eligible for STEM extension. I did not do that because I already filed for 785 or 765.
right. So that you should. I mean, if you wanted to keep working legally, you should have filed for the STEM extension. But because
I see.
you didn't, you don't get the extension.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all I had. Nothing
Okay.
else.
Thanks,
Thank
Sahil.
you.
Yep. Princess Lizzie asked for my 5 worst embassies. I made a TikTok about this. It actually got a lot of views. It was, I don't know which order I put them in, but Cairo, Islamabad, Juarez, Manila, and Casablanca. I think those are my worst. And then everybody got mad at me about, they wanted me to put Nigeria in there too. So that'll be our bonus, is Nigeria. All right. Let's go to Erie. Erie, hello. Erie, are you there? I can't hear you, Erie. Can't hear you. Sorry about that. All right, let's go to Saya. Saya, are you there?
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. What's up?
Jim, I have two questions. One about my friend. She want to petition her son. Um, in the divorce decree, her ex-husband agree, like give custody to her. But does her husband need to like have authorization something more for her to petition the son?
Depends on the country, but usually yes.
So it means that she can petition him, don't need anything else.
No, usually you need something else. Usually you need authorization from the parent saying that it's okay for the kid to leave the
Okay.
country.
Okay, I can tell her that. One more is about myself. I'm not sure you have time to explain it, but I already have my green card, but I just worry, like overthinking. So next year I will be eligible to apply for citizenship. But I was wonder why my green card took like 27 months when I filed it.
You're wondering why it took so long?
Mm-hmm. And because I listen to you and you explain to many people that if they don't approve the green card for the mom, they will not approve the green card for the kid. But for my case, when my husband filed for us, my kid get the visa to come here within only 13 months. And for me, 27 months, I get green card because I do adjusted in here. But my kid were from Cambodia, and then they got a visa from the embassy to come here within only 13 months. That's make me wonder why. Because when I hear you said normally they approve visa for mom first, not kid.
Usually, yeah. It's hard to say, Saya. I mean, sometimes they don't like it when people come on a visit and apply. You have different people processing different cases. I don't think you can read too much into it. And the thing is, they never tell us why, so you just sort of, you can guess, but you never really know.
So I don't need to worry too much next year.
Nah, I think you'll be fine.
Because I was thinking, what's wrong with my problem? Maybe I have something wrong.
No, I think you're fine. And the fact that they let your son come too, that's good. Bye, Saya. See ya.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yep. Later. All right. Kevin is here. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, hi, Jim. Currently based, first and foremost, how are you doing today?
I'm
You
great.
okay?
How are you doing? Thanks for asking.
I'm okay, thank you very much. I was just watching you live and I decided to jump in.
Great.
My wife is actually based in the UK. We are based in the UK, and my wife, she's a US citizen,
Okay.
but our children are not US citizen yet, and we are looking to relocate to America.
Okay.
So, do you know what's the process be like and everything?
So you're a U.S. citizen?
No, my wife, only my wife.
Your wife's a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
And right now you're a UK citizen?
I'm a Belgian citizen, but I live in the UK for the past 15 years.
Okay. But you have no status inside the United States?
No, I have not. I don't.
And you said she has children in England too?
Yes, with us. We had children. We have 2 girls.
And they're not citizens?
Not. We are looking to fill up the form to get them recognized.
You mean for the certificate of birth? So do you think that they are citizens, or do you think that they're not
No,
citizens?
they are not. They're not citizen at all. They have a British passport.
Right. But has their mom always been a U.S. citizen?
Always born and raised in America.
Has she lived in the United States for at least 5 years, and 2 of which were after she turned 14?
No, she left. She left before just before she turned 14.
And she hasn't really lived there ever since?
No, but she's been going back to visit her dad and her mother. Well,
It doesn't total 2 years.
No.
So mom needs to file an I-130 petition for you and one for each kid.
Yes.
That's the first part.
Yes.
So that'll take about a year to process. So she'll file an I-130. And when was the last time she was in the United States? Does she have an address that you can use? What are you going to do?
No, we were there in August for 2 weeks. We went to visit the place where we're thinking of relocating. So
Okay.
we went to Georgia to visit for 2 weeks. But we can find an address if it's needed.
Well, yeah. So we've got to point the case towards an address, right? And we need someone. I mean, if you have a lawyer, that's a different thing. That can help with that. But generally, at some point, they're going to say, why should we give this guy and their 2 kids green cards if she hasn't really resided here? So we need to start establishing ties for her. So I don't know if she has a family member here or a good
she has family member over there.
Yeah, so I would use that address and start pointing the case towards there, just thinking when we first come to America, we'll stay there for a couple of weeks until we find our house. But then, so she should file an I-130 petition for you and for each kid. Then that'll with USCIS, that'll take a year.
Yes.
Then the case will go to the National Visa Center and they'll have to start processing. Then you deal with the State Department. So you pay some more fees, you submit some more forms. And then once they're happy, they'll say, okay, everything is ready. Now we're just waiting for an interview in London.
Okay, so we think because we were thinking of her going over there first.
Yeah, I would say after that year's up, around the time that you get to the National Visa Center, you want her to really be there as much as you can and really, really nailing down. This is where the kids are going to go to school. This is where me and Kevin are going to live with the kids. Like really start pushing it more towards a space.
Okay, can she go first with the children and I visit them or not?
Well, they're not going to have any status. They could come on visa waiver and stay for 90 days, but they're not going to have any real status.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if everybody came on visa waiver and while you were here after a couple months, if you decided to try and just stay here and apply, that is an approach, but you can't have that intent when you enter the United States. You'd have to figure that out once you're here. But if you guys waited 60 days after arrival and applied for a green card, as long as you weren't 100% sure that's what you were going to do when you came, that would be another option.
No, because that's our intention. We don't really want to do any fraudulent stuff.
Good. Do it. So do it the way I told you before. It's probably going to take about 2 years total.
Okay, that's actually perfect. So first she can file for I-30 from here in the UK.
Yeah.
And after a year, where she has to start relocating to the US by herself.
I mean, not 100% total, but she does have to. Now here's another issue. So has she been filing taxes the last 3 years?
No, she doesn't earn that much, but we are gonna file the taxes as well.
For the last 3 years?
Yes, we are gonna do that.
And then she'll need a co-sponsor.
A co-sponsor, like
So the government wants to make sure that you're not coming to the United States and getting government benefits. And so to make sure that that doesn't happen, she has to sign what's called an affidavit of support. This is part 2. You don't have to worry about this now, but you're going to have to submit an affidavit of support that says that if you, Kevin, ever get benefits in the United States, that she'll pay them back. Well, she doesn't have enough money on her income taxes the last 3 years. So she's going to need a U.S. citizen or a green card holder to say, if Kevin gets benefits and Kevin doesn't pay them back and I don't pay them back, then this guy, Uncle Eddie, will pay it back.
does the green card holder has to be a family member?
It does not. It just has to be a green card holder or a citizen.
Okay. Well, even though she works as a nurse in the UK?
I mean, the question is on her taxes for the last 3 years, did she make enough money? And if you said she didn't make a lot of money, and she's going to have to file tax returns and maybe pay taxes for the last 3 years. It's going to be a big pain.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you very much. So I will start the process. We start the process.
Thanks, Kevin.
By the way, do you can you help with that? If can we use
sure.
that?
Yeah, this is totally something. Yeah, you want to shoot me an email and we can help you for sure. This is definitely something we can help.
So if you can I get your email on your?
Yeah, it's right there. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Hacking, that's me, immigrationlaw.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the call. See you, buddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Belgium, UK, and the United States. Pretty darn cool. Look who's here. It's our buddy Robert. Yesterday we had Nurse Laura. Today we got Robert. I don't know who's coming tomorrow. I guess maybe Fatuma or maybe Donna will finally grace us with her presence if it's not too hot in Jamaica. Robert, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Good. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for always advocating for us. And everybody sort of freaked out about these filing fees for green cards. And my team's going to reach out to you to see if you can make a short video for us. They'll help you sort of explaining why you thought it was a good idea to hire an attorney and pay the money for your wife's green card. So if
yeah, feel free. You guys have my cell phone number. You have my email.
I figured it'd be cool. Thank you so much. How you doing, man?
Just living the dream. But I do have a quick question for you. Well,
wait, can I ask you one first? I didn't get my picks in for the NCAA. So did you do a sheet?
No, I don't do brackets. College basketball is too hard. I played college basketball at San Francisco State, so I know how you just cannot. You just never know. So I don't even try.
San Diego State made it to the finals last year. That was insane.
Yeah, I went to San Francisco State, but
my son goes to San Diego State. I know you know.
Yeah, no, you can't pick. It's just so random.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, well, I finished college in 2005, so kind of dating myself, but
Yeah.
I understand the emotion those players have because most of them are never going to play basketball again at that level.
Right.
And it's just crazy to see, like Kentucky lose, and those guys are in their mid-20s, and they know this is it for them.
Did Kentucky lose?
Yeah, they lost yesterday.
I couldn't figure out. I was like, I think it starts on Thursday. I've just been, I'm fasting, so I'm sort of lightheaded. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
So this is something I've been thinking about for the past 6 to 8 months. I kind of need
Yeah.
some guidance on something. I work an exempt job right now. I work 45 to 50 hours here in LA. How realistic is it, do you think I could go back to law school? I mean, go back, get a law degree while still working pretty much, a 45-hour a week job?
It's tough. I mean, I think you have to take 9 hours a semester. I had friends who did it. Literally, Robert, the guy who was number one in my class, he did that. He worked at Boeing. He was an engineer. He's a genius. He finished first in the class, and he went at night. He was a U.S. attorney after that, and then now he's a federal judge. So, but I went to St. Louis University, and St. Louis University had a really good night program, and they still do. And I would say there's probably 30 to 40 people a year that do it. I think sometimes though, Robert, what happens is you start on that path, you do like 2 years of it, and then you're like, man, this sucks. I'm just going to finish it. And then they seem to just go all in, and do like the last year full time and just suck it up and borrow the money and finish it up.
Yeah, I think the problem is for me, I don't know if I can borrow the money and then still be able to support my family as far as, rent and more, all that stuff. That would be my issue. And, kind of want to go back and get I have a degree in accounting, so I don't think very much of it is going to transfer over to law school. I probably have to take some courses before I can even get accepted into one.
There's just a ton of reading and writing in law school.
Yeah.
A ton of reading. Like that's the time thing. It's like you get like, I mean, probably at night they go a little easier on you, but it's like 100, 150 pages of reading every day.
I'm not too, well, I shouldn't say concerned. I would put in the work for that. I'm just trying to figure out how realistic is that to do for 4 years probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's realistic. I mean, people do it. I mean, I would say in my class of 200, there were 20, 25 people that graduated with us.
And then my goal long-term is to focus on deportation and asylum. How would once I get to that point, how would I specialize in that? Because obviously I don't want to be a brand new attorney and then make a bunch of mistakes.
Come work with us in our San Diego office.
Well, I live in LA. Would that be realistic?
Yeah, that would be realistic. You could work we could open an office in LA. Yeah, sure. I mean, you'll be able to find work. There's watching this show, what a need there is for immigration lawyers, and especially people that care. I thought you asked me the other day about going to work for USCIS. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, I applied, but realistically, I don't know how I'm gonna. I got 1% chance of probably landing that job.
I don't know. Are they competitive jobs to get? I don't know.
Yeah,
they hire some real dipshits. They have some smart people for sure, but there have been some really bad brand new officers that I've seen over the last 5 or 6 years. So plenty of good ones, but man, I wouldn't write myself off on that one.
Well, I mean, if I get it, great. If I don't, I'm gonna continue what I currently do. It's just, my job right now is I average about 45 hours a week, but at times during crazy football season, it's 50, 60 hours a week. But
that's tough.
Yeah, but at that point, it's more a matter of delegation. I run 7 restaurants, so it's just the people aspect of it, not so much necessarily the product itself. It's more just managing people.
Yeah,
I think more than anything else, you don't when you're at a above store support or above front line, it's just managing people. That's all it really is.
Right. No,
and
that's true here too.
Yeah, that's just the hardest part. But my passion has been for the last 6 months, a year, to really try to go back and get a law degree. Now I know California bar is extremely tough. So,
but that's the nice thing about immigration is you can be barred anywhere. You don't have to.
Well, I would probably want to focus on California, stay in California, focus here on getting a law degree here. And then
but there's people that like the DC bar is a lot easier than the California bar. People just get admitted to the DC bar and then they can practice immigration anywhere. But yeah, I think if you're in California, you want to focus on that. But yeah, I started studying for that California bar. I lasted about 6 weeks and I said, this is for the birds. I'm just going to hire someone that is barred in California.
Well, I mean, maybe once I'm going to start applying for a couple law schools. Do you know of any in the California area that you could recommend? I know Whittier Law.
No, but if you email me, I can ask Christina, because Christina is our California lawyer. She'll know, and she lives in LA now, but she went to school in San Diego, but she'll know some.
I'll definitely email you. The one off the top of my head, like Whittier Law School, or I don't think I can afford USC or UCLA or anything, but probably what some of these relatively smaller schools. Not to say that they're bad; they're just smaller.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your feedback and your opinion of how realistic that.
I think it's very realistic, and I think you'd be great.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, and I'll definitely email you.
See you, buddy.
Take care.
Later. That's our friend Robert, a friend of the show, a longtime OG member of the show. Let's go to Dave. Dave's been waiting for a while. Hi, Dave.
Morning. Well, it's morning here in New Zealand, so I've gotten up early to join your show.
Well, thanks.
So I'm a U.S. citizen. I've been here for 6 years. I met my wife here. She's a New Zealand citizen. And we were thinking about moving back to care for my mom a little bit. Wondering, like you said earlier, it's about 2 years for the consular process.
Yeah.
The last few years, we've been going back on a ESTA for about 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And we've got a trip planned in July. I'm wondering if it's better to go through the consular process, get that ball rolling, or wait and kind of see if when we go in July, and then if we really decide we want to move, just do the adjustment of status once we're there.
So we've handled that case many times. That's again, I don't know if you heard me talking to 2 callers ago. You and she can't have that intent when you come, especially her. She can't have that intent when she comes. But if you're like, boy, this is the 3rd time we've been here, mom's getting a little sicker, and oh my gosh, we really want to stay. As long as you don't file in those first 60 days, we've done that many times. And one is you always have to worry about the immigrant intent question. The other one is when you come on ESTA, you haven't really been vetted as much, so you don't have as many protections. You don't have the right to see a deportation judge, but that is probably never going to come up. But it's something that I always tell people just so that they're aware of. But every one of those cases we've ever handled has been approved.
Yeah. And there's some kind of forgiveness for a U.S. wife or spouse of U.S. citizen?
Well, there's no need for forgiveness. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that if you file in that window, then she becomes an adjustment of status applicant, and she's waiting for her interview, and you just do it all here.
Yeah. And in that case, definitely don't file an I-130 beforehand, because that
might keep her from even getting on the plane. Yep.
Yeah. Even getting in, even if we want to just visit.
Yeah, I would wait until after that visit, sure, if that's the route you're going to go. So if I'm you, I'd be saying, hey, baby, let's go check it out. We'll see what happens. We'll think about it. Let's not do it. I mean, being married to a U.S. citizen always makes it a bit of a problem, because they might think she's coming to get a green card. Having the I-130 gets you even further down that line. So I would just say, let's just continue doing what we're doing and chill, and then we'll deal with it when we get to America. Call me back.
Awesome. Yeah.
One of our very good friends moved to New Zealand. She and her husband's from New Zealand. I'd really like to come visit it. It looks beautiful.
We do love it here. Yeah, but kind of there's a family tie as well. So we're kind of, my mom's getting a bit older, and my dad has passed away. So we're kind of keen to help her out a little bit. So.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave.
Cool. Thanks,
Let me know if you need anything. See you, buddy.
Yeah, cool. See ya.
All right, bye. I think Lizzie was asking about if people can get scholarships with green card holders. I mean, green card holders don't have to pay the international rates, I don't think. And they do sometimes get scholarships. I just think it's hard. I think higher education's all upside down still. So, law school's not cheap. None of that stuff's cheap. The lawyer that I worked for when I first started from law school back in the 80s, she was a school teacher, and she made enough money to pay for him to go to law school, and for them to live. He worked in the summers, and they made enough with him working in the summer and her as a school teacher to pay for him to go to law school. Then when he was done, they flipped, and she went to law school, and he was a lawyer by then, and so he supported her. That would never, ever happen now with how expensive these law schools are. It's crazy. Kim. Hello, Kim.
Do you hear me?
I do.
Oh, hello. Thanks for having me. So I've been here for a couple times, and my main question is, I just received my, not the AD, but the document, the travel document.
Advance parole?
Yes, that's right. And it's been like almost 13 months since we sent the document. So I get my EAD since like after 3 months, and after 13 months, I get my advance parole.
Okay.
And is it a normal that I thought it would be green card?
Yeah, most people are getting their green card well before they get advance parole, and sometimes even before they get their EAD. If you had a green card interview, where would it be?
In Orlando, Florida.
Yeah. So that's a busy place. And were you in status at the time you started, or were you out of status at the time you started?
It's a tricky question because we sent it when I was on status, but they received it 2 days later. So when we sent everything, I was on status.
What were you on a visit or a student visa or what?
Visit, tourist.
Yeah, so I think those cases, technically out of status, visit visa. Did you have a long history before that 6-month visit, or did you meet the person on that visit?
Well, we know each other for a pretty long time, but we've been friends for, I think, more than 20 years. And at this time, we just look on each other in the other way. Like we never thought it would be happen, so it was kind of surprise. So my husband is my best friend.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think it'll be pretty soon. I wouldn't be sweating it. They're processing it. Did you feel like you submitted a lot of marital evidence?
Yeah, sure.
And did you submit your medical?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think your green card's right around the corner. I'd say another month or two.
Okay, because it's normal time, as you said, it's normal time to have the advanced parole in 6 months, and I waited for 13. So that's why.
Yeah, but most people don't get advanced parole at all, and I don't think 6 months is normal for advanced parole. I think advanced parole is 9 to 12 months. Hardly anybody gets advanced parole anymore. At least now. We'll see what happens when they raise the fees.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's it.
Hi, Kim. See ya. Yep.
Great one.
Yep, you too. All right. Should we try Erie one more time, see if she got her audio fixed? Erie, you still there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I have a question in regards to our N400. So I've been here under 3-year rule, married to my husband, and I'm submitting or prepping to submit that N400. I have just 3 quick questions. So they're having question: have you taken trip outside of US in last 5 years? So I've been here only for 3 years, obviously. And I did take one short trip. But do I need to, because of the way they formulated question, do I need to now submit my travel history for 5 years, or only that one trip since I got here?
Is there anything in the 5 years that worries you? Any long trip?
No, nothing. I mean, so I have been here only for 3 years since I moved with my green card.
Yeah. Just list the 3 years. They'll get it.
Okay, so they obviously have a history when I applied for green card, so that should be fine.
Yeah.
And then, so they have a question: what is your USCIS online account number? They also have guideline how to find that number.
Yeah,
like go to their profile page.
I wouldn't mess with it. Just leave it blank.
Blank, so I don't have it because I couldn't find anything, so I just put I don't have it. Okay, and this should be simple. It's just I want to make sure. I have LinkedIn profile, and my groups that I have are pretty old. They're all related to work, meaning like facilities management or recruitment. I have like maybe 14 groups, but I was barely ever active. Now their question if they want you to list groups because they're asking, were you ever a member of groups and similar things. um, the thing is like if I would list them, I would have to mention they have from this time to that time, and I have no idea. I tried to open like each group and see the time when I joined, and there is no such information. So should I just
These are just LinkedIn groups that you didn't pay dues for or anything?
no. There is like free groups on LinkedIn that you
Yeah.
join. It's networking.
I don't
So
think you have to list those. I think they're talking
I
about dues
and
kinds of things or
okay,
churches or no.
no, and there was one teaching related group, but I have no idea what was the name, and an employer paid for that here in US. But I don't remember the name. I don't think that's really relevant.
Well,
Probably they don't
I
even
would put
care.
unknown teacher organization or something like teacher organization. I can't remember the name.
Perfect. Yes, this is exactly what I did, but I have it in draft. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it. Thank
Good
you.
luck, Yuri. Glad we were able to connect. See ya.
Thank you. See you.
Fam Sandy's here. Hello, Fam Sandy.
Yeah, hello Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm cool. I have a problem that it's kind of like bothering me.
Okay.
I came on a B1 visa from Italy. So when I came, I met my wife. So I was living in Ohio. So I moved to Connecticut. So when I moved to Connecticut, I get a job in New York. So before that, I paid a lawyer for that and who fill our forms and all that. But we get married after 6 months when we met. So we filed our case after like a year of meeting.
You filed your case. What did you say?
I said we filed our case after 1 year we met.
Okay.
So then before that I'll get when I file my case, then I get my work permit. Then I'll get a job. I went to New York to work.
Okay.
So when I went to New York to work, before going, I did ask my lawyer that it is okay to work in New York while I get a work permit in Connecticut. He said yes, it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
But what then I just left everything in his hands because then I didn't like see your page. I was just making research and I see your page that I see that sometimes you say that it's okay to do things, but you don't have to do it.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. So that's what I realized. So then when I went to New York, they came at home. We went for an interview. After the interview, it was like a second interview because the lawyer told us that he's gonna go if we pay extra. So I called that we're gonna pay extra. He said no, he's not in town. So we went alone. So we went for the interview. The immigration officer was kind of like it was kind of very strict with us.
In Hartford?
Yeah, in Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, so we came home. It was like we were confused. We don't know what to do. So I stayed here at home like
Well, just
for a
real
month.
quick, fam. Did they separate you?
Yeah, for the first year they separate us.
Okay, and fam, are you natively from Italy? Or are you from a different country?
I'm from Gambia, but I used to live in Italy.
Yeah. Okay, so they separated you, and then when your lawyer didn't go to your interview with you, and when you and your wife compared notes as far as the questions, how do you think that you did?
So it was she says it was completely perfect. Nothing was wrong. But the immigration officer was like telling me that, oh, you came to you were talking to her because you wanted to stay here. Because we met online. So it was like we met online. So he said, oh, because you went online to search for her because you wanted to stay. So he was like, okay, but on your form you feel that you were in a relationship in Italy. Yeah, I said, yeah, I did. I said I'm in a relationship in Italy. So he said, why did you break up? I said, he said, why are you break up? I said, yes. So she asked my wife that if she knows my ex. She said no. He asked me to if I know my wife's ex-husband. I said no, I have never met him or I have never known him. So After that, I came home. I was here like for a few weeks. Then I left. I go back to New York working. Then I was going to and fro, going and coming. They came here early in the morning. They didn't find me here, but they found my passport. They found my clothes. They were asking my underwear. They were asking my toothpaste. They were asking a lot of stuff that she provided.
Yeah.
So
That's
after
good.
that, yeah. So the immigration officer start
Wait,
calling
can I ask
and
a question
texting me.
just real quick? Fam, can I ask a question? When you
Yeah.
say work in New York, do you mean you would drive to New York each day for work and come back to Connecticut, or you were staying in New York?
I stay in New York. I come back every second week.
Every second week?
Yeah.
So like every other weekend
Sometimes,
you would come home?
yeah, every other weekend. Sorry. Sometimes I come every week. Sometimes every second week. Other weekend. Sorry.
So would it be fair to say that when you went to the interview with your wife, the first one, that the topic of you living sometimes in New York and working in New York, did that come up or did that not come up?
It come up.
Okay. So you explained to them how it was.
Yeah, I explained to them, and I explained to them the work I did. I explained to them everything. So
Okay.
after
So
they
you
made
were
a home
completely upfront
visit.
about it. What did they say? What about, did they ask you about where you actually live in New York, where you stay at night? What did they say about that?
They did ask me. They did ask me about that. I did told them where I stayed. They asked me how many people. I told them how many people. They asked me. I told them that it's like a big home that we stayed there. Like I stayed with friends. It's not like my home. So
Yeah.
I have
It's
all
like
my
a
letters in Canada. Everything.
big place where people in New York work and live.
Yeah. So I said that. So they asked me. So they asked me if I have plans to come. I say yes because I have my learner's permit already in Connecticut. So I'm trying to learn how to drive. So they told me you are trained chef. I say yes. Why are you not working in Connecticut as a chef? I said that's not. I don't want to work as a chef anymore.
As a what?
So
Chef?
then when they came,
As a chef?
yeah, a sous chef. Yeah, a sous chef.
Mm-hmm. Wait, can I ask one more
So
question real quick? Can I ask a question real quick?
yes.
When
Yeah.
you got your visit visa to the United States, what did you say was the reason you were coming to visit?
I came to visit my brother here who lives here in Ohio.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. I was staying in Ohio until I moved to Connecticut. Then I got a job to New York.
Okay, keep going. I gotcha.
So okay, when they came here, they didn't find me here. So after that, they found all my stuffs here.
So that's good. They found your stuff.
Yeah. So when they found my stuffs, then after that week, because after the second week I came here, so he called me. The immigration officer called me. He asked me, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Connecticut at my wife's place." He was like, "You can go back. We are not coming back there anymore." I said, "No, it's not about you coming back here. This is what I used to do, so I'm here." So then he started texting me, calling me. He texts me all like for a week. He has been texting and calling me, asking me stuff. If he asks everything, I tell him. If he asks everything, I tell him. So there was one point. So I talked to, because my wife was scared. So I have to talk to our lawyer. Our lawyer was now picking our call. I have to take a new lawyer.
Yeah.
So when we went to the new lawyer, so the new lawyer was like, okay, we explained everything that what happened. He told us that, okay, you guys, we paid for him to go. We went to the immigration office because they say it was the fraud office. What makes me even more confused is they were threatening my wife to withdraw the petition.
Yeah. Wait, so you had a second interview and you brought your new lawyer the second?
No, the new lawyer, I didn't even get a second interview. He was kind of like, why are they doing that? So he walked with us to the fraud office to ask what is going on.
Oh, you guys just showed up and said, "What the heck?"
Yeah, he just showed up and said, "What the heck is going on?"
I like that. And so what happened?
Yeah. So then they said, no, the field officer was out. So there was someone who went to the office. So when he went to the office, he checked with the case number. He told us that, it's a case, or the case is on the review, but it might be, you might get a letter of intent to deny.
That sucks.
That's what he said.
Where
did
did
the other guy said?
You said somewhere that they threatened your wife to withdraw the case. When did that happen?
Yeah, after their visit here, after they keep calling me and texting me, they threatened her to withdraw the case. So she was like, no, I'm not gonna withdraw.
Great.
Because it's my husband. I love him. I want him to stay.
Okay, so when did they say they might send a notice of intent to deny?
When we went there with the lawyer.
I know, but when was that?
Like it is January, isn't it?
January?
January. It was January.
And nothing since.
So nothing since. They just sent me the traveling document.
When did you file the case originally?
When did we file the case?
February 15th of last year.
February 15th of last year.
Sounds like you might need to sue them. If you don't get that notice of intent to deny in another 2 months, you might have to sue them to see what's going on.
Yeah, that was what I was talking with my wife. So we were thinking of maybe like talking to you first and see the duration. If nothing is done, maybe we will hire you to sue them.
Yeah, why don't you?
That's what I want.
Yeah, why don't you send me an email and I can talk to you and your wife. We can figure it out.
Okay, I'll send you an email. She's gonna write you because she's a good writer. She was a lecturer, so she knows how to write.
Hey, listen, to me it means a lot. She's on the call listening. That to me that gives me hope right there. Just that she's invested.
Yeah.
And then she told me.
Yeah, she's even here. She's even here. You see her.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Send me that email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay. I'll send you an email and I will explain everything to you.
Do you still have those texts from the officer?
Yeah, I have the texts from the officer. I have all the texts from the officer.
I'd like to see those. If you could send those to me.
And I have,
if you could send those to me.
I have his conversation tape with my wife too. I have it on tape because I make it on loudspeaker when he was calling my wife. I have the conversation taped.
Interesting. All right, I'd like to see all that. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, guys. Have a good day. All right. Well, we ended with a bang. That was a banger call. A lot of interesting information. I don't know that I've heard of people subject to a fraud investigation getting texts from the fraud unit, but I guess it is 2024. So there we go. I'll be back tomorrow. Nor has an early game, so tomorrow's show will be 2:30 p.m. Central. 2:30 p.m. Central might change, so you might want to make sure to send us a text to 314-470-3300. Text that word "show" so that you'll get alerted for sure. No, we can't play the tape on. We can't play the tape on the show. I don't think. Maybe they'll want us to, but I don't even know it's legal for him to record that guy. So you got to be careful with all that stuff. But I'm a lawyer, so I can do what I want. Ha ha ha. I hope you all have a good Friday night. Softball for us. And then actually I'm going to Juma prayer now. And then I'm doing my other show with my other buddy at 3 and then off to softball. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Huli, thanks for your help. I'll see you guys all later. Bye, guys.